Why do people collect video games? Whenever you reveal to someone that you collect video games, it's kind of like tossing a social hand grenade in the air. You don't know where it will land and you don't know the effects it will have. Now, you'll either get the okay followed with weird looks, or you could get lucky and have an actual conversation that will take off with more questions as to why you actually collect. Now that question always gets me thinking, why do we collect video games, and more so retro or older video games? And I really think I have the best answer for that question. I've thought a lot about it because it can be a bit of a pain at times collecting, and often I'll sit and think to myself, why am I even struggling to create more room for these games? Or why am I considering on spending over $100 on a video game that was released originally for 1/8 of that price? Am I really going to be spending a whole lot of time playing these games that often? Those thoughts really deter me from overpaying for retro video games. So I'm thankful I have a few brain cells tumbling around in there, but that's not to say that I disagree with anyone who does spend crazy amounts of their hard-earned money on something they find personal value in, and that's what I want to talk about. Personal value is what really drives collectors, or myself I should say, in purchasing something for an over-exaggerated price. Every time we play an old video game from our childhood, we get triggered. No, not that crazy kind of triggered, but that's the best way I can explain it. It's a trigger that sets off a feeling of nostalgia, and all of a sudden we're back in time. We're taken back to a time and place where we felt most comfortable, where there were no worries of bills, work, and ultimately responsibilities in general. So by collecting these old video games, it reminds us of the good times, and maybe even some of the bad times mixed in, but for the most part, it was the games that made those times so great. Now I know that if we had time machines, we would all love to jump in that thing and take ourselves back in time, or even rewind time, so we could really soak it all in, because it's true what they say about not knowing when you're living in the best of times of your life.
What the hell is going on here?
As for collecting some of the newer games and systems out there, these days I can't say that I go for that very much. Every now and then, if I see something unique or exclusive, I'll pick it up because I think it's neat, and if I have a few games that I really enjoy, I'll just hang on to them, put them on my shelf, and I'll eventually want to come back to those. Another good reason to stack up on physical games, old and new, is because I really believe, without a doubt, that eventually they will no longer exist. We will eventually all be streaming and or downloading games from online stores. It's already proven very lucrative with Steam, PlayStation, and the Microsoft Xbox Store. But that's a whole new conversation. Alright guys, let me know what you collect and why. Is it to bring back those childhood memories, or do you just really enjoy that era of games and what they offered? Or do you have the latest gaming diseases everyone's laughing about? Hit that subscribe button, like this video, and I'll see you next time.